The 10-year yield right now is surging. It is freaking surging. We are now at 1.9, a tremendous jump over just yesterday. Now, look, this gets my attention and it should get your attention as well. Now, I am not saying that we are in, that moment of implosion in the debt market, but it raised my eyebrows this morning a little bit. What are we waiting for? What are we looking for, you and me, to tell us when we need to run for the hills with regard to this market? And I've been telling you this, what I'm going to tell you right now, forever. An uncontrolled spike in the 10-year yield. All right, we just got a pretty freaking big jump here. Now, if we maintain this level, that's all well and good. But if we continue to rise here at a rapid pace, well, that's not good. That is not good. Now we can see this reflected in risk measured by the MMRI. Okay, there is a link to the MMRI in the description of this video. Risk is rising in this market. On the back of this, there is no doubt about it. The dollar is also a little stronger here, or the relative strength of the dollar. But really, this 10-year yield should catch your attention. This jump is it's profound, I think, overnight. Now, with that said, let us move on. Stock futures are mixed. You got NASDAQ futures, at least at the time I am doing this, it's 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. NASDAQ futures are flat to slightly higher, with Dow and S&P futures slightly lower. People, WTI crude is over $92 a barrel. And this is going to lead to that super tsunami of inflation that I warned is already on its way. I said this yesterday in my post-market wrap-up. If you have not seen that, please pay attention to these things, okay? It's not just the fact that we have a dollar that is dying. Again, its relative strength, as I have explained to you since forever, will remain high. Relative, meaning its value based against other currencies. Its absolute strength is going to continue to crater faster as central banks, especially the Fed, continues to print on an epic scale, buying assets on an incredible scale, keeping rates suppressed, even if they raise rates in March, which I believe they will, because if they don't, this market's going down. This market is going down. All right, I'm telling you that right now. Anyway, so that's forget about the market. Forget about the stock market here, or futures, or whatever. It's about the debt market. It's about the drivers. To me, it should be to you. And that 10-year yield spike is interesting. In fact, it's more than interesting. Before I get to the economic news, which I want to cover, let's talk about some other assets. Gold and silver remain, right now are under some pressure, not much. You got Bitcoin back around 38,000, just under that right now, depending on where you look. Cryptocurrencies are doing relatively well this morning. This thing with crude is insane, okay? I want you to keep watching crude oil. I've been telling you for the longest time it's going to hit $100. I had expected we would get a pullback first. I told you what I'm afraid of. I don't even want to see really a pullback in crude, because that would be bullish. Again, assets go up, they go down, correct? You establish a new floor and they go higher. It doesn't seem like we're getting any relief at all. Does it mean we're going to get a larger correction at one point? Again, I don't know when. I just feel that any asset that goes straight up like this eventually will correct. Well, we're not seeing that. We're seeing a surge here in crude, which is going to affect so many products that are made with crude oil. So expect another freaking tsunami, people. I don't know what to tell you with regard to inflation here. With that said, let's touch on some economic news that is just stunning to me. Again, the propaganda ministry must convince you that everything is great. Our economy is booming. We couldn't possibly be doing any better. So we got this non-farms payrolls number today, which came in way better than expected. Number one, I don't believe it. Okay. So they were expecting about 125,000 jobs to be added, non-farm jobs to be added in January. But we got this huge number where they added 467,000. But if you recall just the other day, the private sector job losses for the month were at negative 301,000. So that comes to what? Well, if you just do a little math here, okay, so they're saying that we added 166,000 jobs. However, if you weigh that against the weekly jobless claims that I'm writing this down this morning, roughly 200,000, do the math. We have a net loss here of 634,000, and we know, you and me have known for a very, very long time that every single month we are losing jobs. People, how do I say this to you in another way? If you're new here, pay attention. The economy globally is in free fall, okay? Manufacturing, factory activity, you name it, it's over. All we're seeing is debts and deficits hyper balloon, okay? But the fact of the matter is, it's over. The economy, the global economy is dead, okay? Look at the money velocity, the rate at which cash is moving through the global economy. It couldn't be lower. As a matter of fact, here in the United States, it is at historic lows. But no. You see, the propaganda ministry has to lie to you, and our politicians and our retard president, and, they got to convince you that, everything is just so great here. It can't possibly be better. Now, let's move on. We got another little tidbit here. So I'm watching Bloomberg this morning, and they are so gleeful and happy about this. So earnings are higher. Hourly wages have increased 0.7% in the month. But what they're not going to tell you is net here again, based against inflation or inflation adjusted, real wages are cratering, and people are getting destroyed. We are literally in the twilight zone. We are in the freaking twilight zone. And I know you get it. Most of you who follow this blog probably don't listen to a single word that comes out of the propaganda ministry. It's all lies, everything transitory and this and that. It's the biggest load of dog shit wrapped in cat shit, sprinkled with bird shit in the history of the world. But that's just the way it is.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really, really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.